You are William B.J. Blazkowicz, and you've been incarcerated beneath the Nazi prison of Castle Wolfenstein for 12 days. That comes to a brutal end when you're standing above the idiot guard that fell for your trick, holding his pistol in one hand and a determined expression plastered on your face. It's time to escape, or die trying. This was the setup for a 1992 game entitled Wolfenstein 3D. It was the first major hit for a game developer named id Software. Wolfenstein 3D would later be recognized as the grandfather of the first-person shooter, and is the subject of this episode of Knee-Deep in the Dead.
Good double.
In 1991, a man by the name of John Carmack and his team had developed a brand new game engine capable of rendering pseudo-3D graphics using 2D sprites in a technique known as raycasting. This engine was first tested in a game called Catacombs 3D. With the concept proven to work, id Software was formed to begin creation of a game that could make use of it. That game was Wolfenstein 3D, a game inspired but not related to a defunct action platforming game called Castle Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein 3D was a great success and changed the course of action gaming on the PC. It was also one of the first games to pair up shooting with one of gamers' all-time favorite targets, Nazis. The game places you in the shoes of B.J. Blazkowicz, an elite spy and hero serving with the Allies at the height of World War II. The game itself consists of 6 episodes, the first of which was distributed free. Each episode has 9 levels, with 1 bonus level which the player is tasked to discover the secret entrance to. Along the way you make use of 3 weapons, plus a knife. The pistol, a slow-firing but efficient weapon. The machine gun, which fires faster and is a good middle-of-the-road weapon. And the chain gun, which doles out fast, punishing fire at the cost of more ammunition. You'll also contend with a variety of enemies, including killer dogs, which are fast and deadly but easy to put down. Interestingly, the SNES version of Wolfenstein 3D had the dogs replaced with giant rats due to Nintendo's odd censorship practices. This prompted id Software to make the observation that it seemed to be okay to shoot people in these games, but not dogs. The standard guards wear brown uniforms and are armed with pistols. They go down easy but can overwhelm with their numbers. SS officers are the blue uniformed tough guys that carry machine guns and take a lot of punishment before they go down. Mutants are monstrous creations of Dr. Scabs you encounter in Episode 2. These guys can take a hit and give back just as much from the gun implanted in their chests. And Episode 3 introduces us to the Nazi officer, a fast and deadly version of the standard guard. The main story takes place through Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Episode 1 tasks you with escaping from the infamous Nazi prison Castle Wolfenstein. The end of the episode pits you against the Nazi enforcer and chief of castle protection, Hans Gross.
Guten Tag.
When BJ finally escapes, he leaps into the air like the end of a 90s episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah!
He then joins the Resistance, learns of Operation Eisenfaust, a project the Nazis have started to create unbeatable mutant soldiers. Episode 2 takes BJ into the heart of the Mad Dr. Scab's facility, and pits him against both Nazis and their mutant cronies. BJ kills the Doctor, getting a delightful kill cam, and sets course for Adolf Hitler's bunker in Berlin. Episode 3 takes place in and through Adolf Hitler's bunker. It weaves you through mazes and dead ends before you face the mad Nazi leader in his battlesuit, armed with 4 chain guns. Yes, the boss of the main story is Mecha-Hitler. After defeating the suit, you put down Hitler himself, ending the Nazi threat forever. There's also 3 other episodes that chronologically take place before the main 3 episodes, in which BJ has to thwart a mad Nazi plot to unleash chemical warfare upon the Allies. After the success of Wolfenstein 3D, they made a prequel expansion pack called The Spear of Destiny that shows BJ's initial conflict with the Nazis in pursuit of a powerful artifact. Wolfenstein 3D holds up decently well today, though to gamers not familiar with the format of these early FPSs, it may hold a challenge. There's no mini-maps or waypoints, just a goal to reach. In fact, several of the levels are actual mazes the player has to make their way through. The game also makes it a point of being cheap at times, throwing a surprise baddie in narrow corridors. Several times you'll make it through a tough spot just to have a baddie step out and shoot you point blank in the face. Both baddies and your guns have an effective range, meaning gunfire is more effective close up and less effective far away. This gives the player an excuse to strafe and move around groups of enemies. Wolfenstein 3D was not without its share of controversy when it was released. While the violence was definitely a point of contention, blatant depiction of Nazi paraphernalia, including several rooms actually built out of swastikas, angered many. It didn't help that the opening theme of the game was the anthem of the Nazi Party. This led to the game being withdrawn from circulation in Germany in 1994. This controversy, however, did not minimize the influence Wolfenstein 3D had on the future of the first-person shooter. The legacy of Wolfenstein 3D can be found in most modern action games through the decade after its launch and beyond. It showed that this sort of action game wasn't only popular and fun, but that it could even be done in the first place. And even more so in next episode's game, which began life as a Wolfenstein 3D sequel before taking on a life all its own. But until then, my friends, as always, game on and take care.